The city of Chicago has agreed to pay $20 million to settle a code of silence lawsuit brought by the families of two young men killed in a fiery drunken driving crash caused by an off-duty police detective, sources told the Chicago Tribune. The agreement to pay $10 million each to relatives of Andrew Cazares and Fausto Manzara was reached in dramatic fashion earlier this month after it was revealed that key documents involving an alcohol-fueled bar fight in Detective Joseph Frugoli's past had been improperly withheld. The amount of the agreement was not made public, but sources have since confirmed the figure to the Tribune. The settlement must still be green-lighted by the city's finance committee before going to the full city council for a vote. That could happen as soon as next month. If approved, it would mark yet another massive payout for the city in a police misconduct suit. In the past 2 months alone, nearly $100 million in judgments have been assessed against the city for police-related cases, including a record $44.7 million jury verdict in October for a man who was shot by his childhood friend, Officer Patrick Kelly, in an off-duty incident. Earlier this month, the City Council approved a $31 million payout for the Englewood Four, who each spent some 15 years in prison for a 1994 rape and murder before DNA linked the crime to a convicted killer. Bill McCaffrey, a spokesman for the city's law department, declined to comment Monday on the Frugoli settlement, citing department policy. A lawyer for the victims' families also declined to confirm the amount when contacted by the Tribune. While the settlement would end the lawsuit, the city may still face consequences for withholding the key documents. After the bombshell report on Frugoli's 1992 bar fight surfaced in the midst of the trial, lawyers for the victims' families asked U.S. District Judge Virginia Kendall to sanction the city for failing to comply with the routine exchange of evidence known as discovery. Speaking to reporters immediately after the case was settled, attorney Timothy Kavanagh, who represents the Cazares family, indicated he would not pursue the sanctions in light of the deal. But he also said he hoped the judge would look into who was responsible. It's something that the judge, quite frankly, will still have jurisdiction to look at and see why were these critical documents not turned over during the case, Kavanagh said. Records show the city has been sanctioned by judges 8 times for failing to turn over records in a police misconduct case since Rahm Emanuel became mayor in 2011. All totaled, discovery-related penalties, which include 2 large post-trial sanctions, have cost the city more than $1 million over the past 6 years. The city has also been ordered to pay millions of dollars in plaintiffs' attorneys' fees. Frugoli had been drinking for nearly 5 hours at 2 South Side bars in April 2009 when he got behind the wheel of his Lexus SUV, entered the southbound Dan Ryan Expressway at a high rate of speed and slammed into the back of Cazares' car near Roosevelt Road, where Cazares had pulled over because of a flat tire. Frugoli was pulled from the wreckage by a Good Samaritan and limped away on a ramp, bleeding from the head as the vehicle head struck burst into flames.